34 hours after he was vaccinated, he passed away in his bassinet. I found him unresponsive and cold.
My name is Nick Kendall.
My name is Melissa Pike, and this is Sawyer John Kendall.
Our son.
When he was born, he was beautiful. He was perfect. He was 7 pounds, 7 ounces. He was breastfeeding, doing very well. We brought him home, and he was a very good sleeper when we first brought him home, and he ate very well. He loved to be outside in his stroller, walking with Mom while Dad was at work. And he always waited for Daddy to get home to snuggle him to sleep.
He was the perfect baby from the moment we brought him home.
They gave him Hep B.
Mm-hmm.
Did they give him vitamin K?
I feel like they did.
Yeah.
On October 20th of 2022, he went in for a well child check, and we were told that he had a virus, and he had a rash, and he had cold symptoms, but he didn't have a fever. The rash started improving over the next week. I was giving him daily breast milk baths, and he never had a fever, and he didn't seem uncomfortable. And 1 week later, on October 27th, we brought him into the pediatrician's office for his 2-month vaccinations, and he still had cold symptoms. And I had asked the pediatrician if he was sure that he needed the vaccines because he had a cold and was diagnosed with a virus a week prior. And the pediatrician told us yes, because he didn't have a fever. So we trusted the doctor to vaccinate Sawyer John, and he didn't flinch when he got the vaccines. We brought him home maybe within a half an hour after the appointment, and he let out a horrible scream that we had never heard before. We thought that he was just wet, needed to be changed, and that wasn't the case. He went to sleep fine that night, and the next day he was a little bit fussy. I held him for a while that day, and I'm so glad I did, because 34 hours after he was vaccinated, he passed away in his bassinet. I found him unresponsive and cold, and I picked him up, and I told Nick that he was gone. So Nick called 911, and we immediately performed CPR on him in our living room. We couldn't bring him back. So the EMTs came. There were so many people there. I had to run outside because I didn't want to see my baby like that. And they tried for almost an hour to get him back, and they couldn't. And then we were told that he passed away from SIDS. We found out on Christmas Eve that the medical examiner had determined his death as asphyxiation.
Improper sleep conditions is what was on the report.
Improper sleep.
Suboptimal
Suboptimal
sleep conditions. He was in his bassinet on the blanket that he was laying on that was on the bassinet, and he didn't even have anything in his bassinet with him. Nothing. And to read those results on Christmas Eve, and to think that you were the one that caused your baby to pass away. It was just awful. I didn't want to accept the answer. I didn't believe it. So I requested further testing, and it took me 10 months to get it back and find somebody that would actually order all the tests for him after the medical examiner refused to do the tests and telling me that if there were aluminum in his system, there wouldn't be enough to be the cause of his death. The aluminum level in his blood was 95 micrograms per liter. Anything over 50 micrograms per liter in an adult is toxic. His was 95, and he was 8 weeks old.
It's just been an uphill battle fighting with the medical examiner's office with all this, and them trying to cover this up and make it look like it was our fault. And we knew it wasn't, so we kept fighting. And finally found someone that has our back with us and is helping us do further testing, and not just believing what the medical examiner told us, because it was basically a lie. I feel they just told us what was easy for them to just write it off as our fault, and instead of facing this as a vaccine injury, death. You get the,
Yeah, every single 2-month vaccine.
And so that pediatrics one as well, it's got like 6 or whatever in one.
Mhm.
So he had so many.
While he was
While
trying
he
to
was
fight
sick.
something off.
He still had the
His
rash.
system. He still had the rash, he still had the cold symptoms.
The only thing he didn't have was a fever. He told
said
us.
no.
Yeah, he told us that he thought it would be fine where there was no fever, and I mean, Sawyer still looked. I mean, he was a great baby too. You wouldn't know he was sick really, but I mean, he was sick. But I think just the doctor just went off the no fever, so we thought it was going to be okay. I guess he insisted that it would be fine getting the vaccinations that day.
He promised us he would be fine. I don't even think he remembers us.
I doubt it.
I don't know if he remembered us that day. I had to ask him to take his temperature, to listen to his lungs, to listen to his belly,
Melissa pretty much conducted the whole
to look at his
doctor's
rash,
appointment.
thinking that that might be a reason for him to say, well, we can always hold off on these vaccines or spread them out. We didn't know that there was an option to spread them out, spread the vaccines out over time, or to just say no. But we already felt like we were looked at different because neither of us got the COVID-19 vaccine, and all of my doctors knew that.
Even in the hospital when she was pregnant, I mean, it's hard to point fingers, but we definitely were treated different in the hospital. We're looked at different because they knew we weren't. As soon as we came in, they knew we weren't, and I could tell they knew we weren't vaccinated. We got put in that on that side of things as the unvaccinated.
I lost my job right before getting pregnant with Sawyer for not getting the COVID-19 vaccine, and I don't think that if I would have gotten the COVID-19 vaccine that I would have been able to carry him, because I have endometriosis. So I've struggled to get pregnant for many years, and when we finally had Sawyer, he was my miracle
It really was.
baby. I didn't think I'd ever be able to carry a child full term, and then I did.
And he was
All for him to be taken away. And this is the one I have left. This is my baby now. I had him cremated because I wanted him to be with us.
We wanted to take him everywhere. We went.
Like we would if he was still alive. This is why we're here. I can't tell anybody not to get their children vaccinated or to get them vaccinated. But I would just recommend that you really think about it before bringing your child in to be vaccinated, because really babies don't need to be vaccinated at all. A lot of places wait until they're at least 2 years old because that's when the blood-brain barrier grows together. And harmful toxins can't pass it as well. Babies, when they're this young, that blood-brain barrier has not closed off. And I think that's how they found all the aluminum had gotten to his brain, ceased his respirations, and caused cardiac arrest. So there was nothing we could do to bring him back. You can take care of your own child. You don't need a pediatrician. You can measure your child and weigh your child right at home. There's no reason you need a pediatrician, because all they are there for in the beginning is just to, I feel like, just to push the vaccines. I'm a nurse, and I feel even more like a failure now. I feel like I failed Sawyer as both a mom and a nurse, because I should have known. But in school, as a nurse, all they do is teach you the schedule of childhood vaccines. They don't tell you what's in them, what they can do, how they react to the body once inside. And we trusted them.
We did.
And I trusted what I learned in school. Some days I just, I started nursing as a career because I wanted to help people. And now I feel like we're helping people after the medical system has already ruined them.
Okay. I have really no words. I don't know what we say to you, other than we're really sorry. We were lied to. You were lied to. In your profession and as a mother and a father. And we will put Sawyer's photo on the bus, we will write his name on the bus, and we will not forget him. I'm going to tell you that. I'm sorry, guys. People watching now just sending you so much love. You're not on your own, sadly. There's so many who see these babies. Thank you for speaking.
We just want to spread awareness to other parents and let them know that
No parent should have to go through this.
to make
Especially
sure
if it
you're
can be prevented. This can be prevented.
advocate really hard for your children. They're your children, not the doctors.
The fight for children's health has hit a turning point, and your support has brought us to this moment.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
pledged to find out what is driving the country's rise in autism.
Scientists are scared to ask the question.
This is an epidemic, and we need to find the causes, and we need to stop it.
Other issues PhD has been pushing for years are finally gaining mainstream traction.
The vaccine itself does have profound risk
We are removing pharma members from FDA advisory committees.
We are working to change the federal fluoride recommendations.
Removing all petroleum-based food dyes.
We're going to change things for real this time.
This is the moment we've been fighting for. Please give today and help us make the most of this opportunity.